What's going on, YouTube? This is Real Men Wear Kills TV, and we are talking Husker football. Sorry this video is a little late. Long story short, I got in late last night. I've been traveling. I went out to Kentucky. Big shout out to my buddy Brent and his grandmother for having me out there. Just got in late last night around not pretty close to midnight. I was so tired coming, as I drove straight through from Shelbyville, Kentucky out here to Nebraska. So I wanted to get home, back to my wife, back to my dogs, and back in time for the game today. It was so late last night, I was so tired, I'm like, I can't give you guys the energy I need for a pre-game video. Sorry, the camera's bouncing a little bit there. It's a little windy out here today. Decided to do the video outside just because, well, it's a beautiful day here. So anyways, did the distillery tour while I was out there. That was pretty cool. Went to Bullet Distillery. Highly recommend if you can make it out to Kentucky, do a distillery tour. It's a lot of fun. Tried some great bourbon. I'm normally a Scotch guy, but bourbon's pretty good too. It's a close second. So really enjoyed that. Me and my buddy Brent went out and did the distillery tour. Had a great time with that. Reason I went out to Kentucky, I can't really talk a whole lot about it real quick. But what I can say is, me and my wife, we've been praying on something for a very long time. And, well, God works in very mysterious ways. And, well, we've been given an opportunity. And my buddy Brent, in order to help us take advantage of that opportunity, gave us something. And I had to go out and pick it up. So big shout out to Brent and his grandmother. As far as that stuff goes, they didn't have to do that, but they did. Had a great time out there with them. Wonderful people. I thank God for putting those people in my life. But going further, let's talk Husker football. So Nebraska is 3-1. Michigan State is 3-1. Nebraska is favored by 11.5 points. This is a game that all the sports writers, the odds makers, I'm hoping I'm not getting too much wind distortion here. Hopefully you guys can hear me, but all the sports writers, all the odds makers, they expect Nebraska to win this game. With good reason. Nebraska is looking just a little bit better than Michigan State this year. Granted, we fell to Michigan, but we kept it close. There were a lot of good takeaways from that game. There was a lot of things that hopefully during the bye week Nebraska worked on and fixed. But we'll see. Anyways, getting into Husker football here. Nebraska is favored by 11.5 points according to the odds makers. I'm not sure if the gap's going to be quite that big. I do expect Nebraska to win by at least one score. But I kind of expect Michigan State to cover the spread. Which I know sounds interesting there. But this is a game that Nebraska should win. But Nebraska and Michigan State, I feel, are closer together than what the odds makers and the sports writers are thinking. As far as talent-wise, as far as execution ability, that sort of thing. So be looking for this game to be close. I'm going to try and keep this video short and sweet. I hope that's okay, guys. I didn't have as much time to really prep for this, even though it was a bye week. A lot of the data that I like to use doesn't come out until right before, a few days before the game. And unfortunately, I was in Kentucky. Been hearing some good things out of Nebraska, out of Lincoln. Been hearing some good things coming out of Michigan State too. So, yeah, But hopefully we've made some major improvements. And with that, I think, realistically, I could see Nebraska winning the game 28-21 or 28-24, something along those lines. I think this is going to be, in fact, I'm going to lock in at 28-21. We'll see. Hopefully it's a blowout, but I just don't see that happening. Here's the deal. If Nebraska has made the improvements it needs to make in a big way, we could see a blowout today. We could see Nebraska blowing out Michigan State. I don't think they've had quite enough time to do that, though. And realistically, that big of an improvement in that short amount of time is... as a Husker fan, I want to see that. But as someone trying to analyze this stuff and look at this stuff seriously, I don't see that. I just don't see it. But like I said, I'm rooting for a blowout, but I'm predicting something along the lines of 28-21 Nebraska. With that, I'm going to hop off here. Like I said, I'm keeping this short and sweet. Y'all have a good one. God bless y'all. And again, big shout out to my buddy Brent and his grandmother for hosting me out there in Shelbyville, Kentucky. Had a great time with you guys. And with that, God bless y'all. And I'll catch y'all a little bit later.